Hi. Hello there. Um, Hello. Welcome to another one of these unscripted rambles. One of these like little random videos I like to make. I only did this because I wanted to get something out for December, and none of the videos I'm currently making are ready, like at all, so, you know. This is like really random, so I just wanted to talk about it now. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. I've recently gotten into Dragon Ball, the series, and I like it. I really like Dragon Ball. I've been really enjoying my time going through this series. I recently started it like in October, I think, and I've been like just binging through. That's kind of the reason why I haven't done much. There's a lot of reasons why I haven't been uploading, but I guess one of those reasons is because I've been like very hooked on this series. Really, I really should have gone into this series earlier, man, because it's really fun. But I'm not here to talk about Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z or Super. I'm here to talk about the movies because like I think that fits my little ramble thing. So when it comes to the I just want to preface this video for a sec. I'm not gonna explain anything really much. Like, so if you don't know like any Dragon Ball stuff, you're just not gonna understand like anything I'm talking about here. So I just want to warn that for people who don't know anything about Dragon Ball. So when it comes to the Dragon Ball movies, they're very weird. There's 24 Dragon Ball movies from what I've seen. There's 24 of them. But I'm only going to be talking about the Z movies because Dragon Ball had like 4 movies for its original stuff. There's like 4 movies for Dragon Ball Super. There's also all the specials for Z, but I'm not going to talk about those. I do want to make a video on Dragon Ball at some point, but like that's like in the future, way in the future. I'm only going to be talking about the 13 Dragon Ball Z movies. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to. I just wanted to for some reason. Oh, and Evolution. I want to make a video on Evolution, specifically on Dragon Ball Evolution. That was a movie I watched. It was definitely a movie. The first movie is Dragon Ball Dead Zone. Dead Zone. This one was weird to watch. You see, because when I was going through the movies, I went them like in order, like as they were like quote unquote meant to take place. None of the movies are canon, but I wanted to watch them while watching Z. So Dead Zone here was what took place before Z started. I watched Z Kai. I didn't watch the original Z because I was not really that interested in watching the original compared to Kai. But anyways, Dead Zone. Dead Zone was alright. It was fun. I liked it. It's kind of weird how like, again, like it doesn't make sense putting it in Z because like, for example, like Goku doesn't meet his friends until the first episode, and this is supposed to take place before the first episode, and he meets one of his friends during the movie and stuff. The entire movie is weird. So you got Gohan, his kid Gohan, Goku's kid Gohan. He's kidnapped by this guy named Garlic Jr. and I forgot why he kidnapped them, but like his lackeys kidnapped them and stuff, and Goku has to save him. He uses the power pole. Goku uses the power pole, and that's cool. Original Dragon Ball stuff. I'll be honest, this was a really weird movie to watch. It had a cool finale, though, with Garlic Jr. making, like, this giant black hole called the Dead Zone and stuff. It was alright. Also, Gohan got drunk. He's like, he's like 4 or 5, I think. Yeah, that was really cute and stuff. It was funny, I guess. This one was alright, I guess. Then there's The World's Strongest, which is the second one, the second Dragon Ball movie, which it was also pretty good. I remember I'm saying this like I watched these like years ago. I literally watched them a month ago. That's gonna be a problem, but I'll talk about that in a bit. So The World's Strongest was, again, it was pretty good. It was all right. The animation was good. It was all right. It was pretty fun. The action was, I really liked the action with like this new enemy called like Dr. like Wheelo. He was like the main villain. I don't really have much to say about this one. This one was just like pretty fun, I guess. I don't Maybe this wasn't a good idea to make like a ramble video on these because I don't remember most of these. And then we have the third movie. The third movie is Tree of Might, Dragon Ball Z, The Tree of Might. And this one was... at this point, like, 3 movies in, I was kind of getting a bit bored. Because, like, it's... Because, like, this, in every movie, every single movie in this... In like, this series is just... A bad guy shows up to Earth, Goku fights him... that's it. That's really how most of these movies go on, and that's how this happens. But it's a bit different, because this takes place after the Saiyan saga, I think. So this guy Turles, his name's Turles, shows up, and he has this little seed that he plants into the earth, and it's called the Tree of Might, and it creates these fruits that if he eats, he gets like extremely strong and stuff. And it's like it's sucking up the planet dry and stuff, and Goku and his buddies gotta stop him. And Turles is weird, cause he's a Saiyan, like Goku, but like the thing is he looks exactly like Goku. And they just don't explain it, like, at all. I don't think they even bring up that he looks... No, I think there's one scene where Gohan, like, is confused that he looks like Goku, but like that's it. And it's like, that's really funny. It's like, so like when I first watched the movie, I was like, oh, Turles, that's one of like the big villains of these movies, because like he's the one that everyone talks about, like with like same thing with like Cooler and Broly. Turles, he's one of those guys. But like, I don't know, I just found the movie kind of boring, really. It's only after the fact when like the movie ended, I was like, oh, I kind of like Turles, you know, because like he's kind of like, he's an evil Goku, essentially. He's before Goku Black. He is basically like a proto-Goku Black and stuff, and that's cool and stuff. And like, I would have liked to see more of Turles, honestly. He from the little bit I saw of Turles in the movie, there was something interesting. Like, out of all the movie villains, the thing is, they could bring some of these back to like make them canon. They did that with Broly. And, like, they're probably going to do, like, Cooler next. But, like, I really want to see Turles. That'd be cool. Even though it'd be such, like, a big-ass pull of just, like, oh, another Saiyan survived. But, like, I don't know. I kind of like Turles. He's kind of like I don't know. I just like him. He also gave that, there's that one GIF that I saw. And, like, I mean, this movie is worth something there, because it gave that like one GIF of like him like just murdering Goku with a bunch of blasts, and then there's that room with just the retro blast, the retro blast. Then we got the fourth movie, Dragon Ball Z Lord Slug. This I was really starting to like get bored with these movies, because like it is like the same thing over and over again. Bad guy shows up, Goku beats him up, and boom, the end. That's very simple. I'm very much simplified like all these movies, but like that's basically the plot of all these movies. But like this one just like really bored me. There was like nothing to it. Lord Slug, he's just... So in Dragon Ball Z, the final villain was King Piccolo, Daimo and stuff. And he's just King Piccolo again. He's literally like not like compared to like, he's just a worse version of the final villain from the original Dragon Ball. And it's like, I got nothing to say on this movie. It's really boring. Oh boy, I just realized. I just realized. Dragon Ball, the fifth movie. The fifth movie is Cooler's Revenge. And I just wanna say here for a second, I watched when it comes to like how I watched all these movies and all of Dragon Ball in general. For Dragon Ball the original, I watched it in Japanese mostly. I did for a few episodes watch it in English, but I'm not really a fan of most of the English voices. But for Dragon Ball Z Kai, I did watch it all in English, you know, because I thought it sounded fine, you know. But for the movies, for the most part, I watched them all in Japanese until I got to Cooler's Revenge. So far, all the other 4 movies, I watched them in Japanese. But, like, it's cooler, you know? I gotta watch it in English, because, like, Listen, like when I was young, I had a lot of, I grew up a lot on Mario and Sonic like fan stuff, and one of those things was Mario Bros. Z. You know that Sprite series with like Mecha Sonic and stuff, and it's all that like rad stuff, And Mecha Sonic, from what I think, I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure that the voice lines for Mecha Sonic were taken from Cooler, but I'm pretty sure it's from one of the games, not the movies. But like I got like a little nostalgia for Cooler's voice, I guess. So like I wanted to watch it in English. And but this movie was like so fucking boring. Like holy shit. Like the first half, it's just Goku and Krillin, his like one of his friends, and his son, right? Fighting just fighting these like randos for like half of it. And I just don't care. I did not care for like any of it. This would have easily been like the worst movie, but then Cooler showed up and like he kicked ass for like most of the movie. He saved the movie because this would have been it turned it from like a 3 out of 10 to like a 7 out of 10 as soon as he showed up. Because like Cooler's second form, like his final form, is like awesome. It's like it is one of the coolest designs for a villain, honestly, and it's rad too. One thing that was also weird was the soundtrack. I just said I watched it in English. And for some reason they just changed the soundtracks for all these movies. So for the Cooler movie, and there's this scene where Goku's gonna go Super Saiyan, and then fucking Change from Death starts playing. And it's like holy shit, this is like so stupid. But it's like the coolest thing I've ever seen. And it's so rad. And then Goku finishes him off with a spirit bomb, and then that's it. Cooler dies. But that's not all. That's not done yet. Cause the next movie is Return of Cooler, and this one was the first one that I actively just did not like. So far with all the Dragon Ball movies, they were all fine. Like I didn't hate anything like really about any of these movies, but Return of Cooler is the first one where I just actively just hated watching it. It was so mind-numbing. I hate Metal Cooler. I hate the Metal Cooler design. It does not look cool at all. It's so lame and stupid. God, this entire movie is just kind of stupid, and I hate it. I can't remember much of it. I mean, there's that one scene where like Goku and Vegeta, because Vegeta starts to join the team at this point, are just like surrounded by a bunch of metal coolers, and like that scene's kind of cool and stuff. But like, man, this one just straight up sucked. This was the first of these movies that I actively just was like ass fully. It was like fully ass. Oh, and now for the seventh movie, we're fully into like by this point we're fully into like the Android like Cell Saga for the seventh movie. And this is where Trunks shows up as well. Trunks is one of my favorite characters in Z, so like him like playing a major role, it was really cool as well. This one is the Super Android 13. This movie, and like again, it was fun. It was a really fun movie. Again, this is one of the few movies that I watched in English. I only watched the fifth, seventh, and eighth movies in English. Everything else I watched in Japanese because they were the only ones I could like stand watching in English. And it's like this one was weird. This movie was really weird. Like the script especially, it didn't feel like it felt like they were like ad-libbing at points. But like I kind of like it cuz it was really funny. The good thing about all these movies is that like most of them are like under an hour. So at the very least they're over quickly. That's the one good thing I'll give all these movies is that most of them aren't like that long like at all. And now we're on to the eighth movie. And this one's a very special one out of all these movies. So out of like all the Dragon Ball movies, the one that like I've heard of the most about, like before I went into Dragon Ball, was the Broly movie. And watching it, I watched. This is the only one I watched twice, because it's my second favorite of all these movies, and it's really good. I really enjoyed it. The first thing that how it stands out compared to the ones before it was that like this one had like a full actual story. It's not just some bad guy shows up to blow up the earth and stuff. It's like there's a full thing going on where like another galaxy was just like wiped out, and Goku needs to like figure out, oh, who's doing this and stuff, you know? And like there's this new Saiyan that shows up to bring Vegeta to a new planet Vegeta. The names are stupid. This series is very stupid with names. So they bring Vegeta and also Trunks and Krillin and Gohan who also join in to this new planet, right? And that's where they meet the prince, the Saiyan guy that showed up, Paragus. That's his name, right? That's his name, and he has a son named Broly. And oh man, Broly is a very he is a character. He is a character. Cause like when I first heard about Broly, his entire like idea of just like, oh, he's so angry and evil because Goku cried a lot. Cause like when they were kids, they were sat next to each other as like babies, and Goku cried a lot, and that's what made him get really, really angry. That's really, really funny and really, really stupid. And to be honest, I could buy that. Honestly, I'm fine with that. Honestly, but like the more I look into it, like God, Broly's life is such a awful mess. I'd be angry too if my life was like such an awful mess. Cause like he was because he was stronger than Vegeta when he was a baby. He was like the king like ordered him to be like assassinated. He was a baby too. And like that is crazy. And then like for the rest of his life after like he and his father survived, Paragus just like essentially like used them as like a little like as a weapon essentially for like his entire life and stuff. For as like to just destroy shit and like be the strongest and stuff, right? And it's like when looking into who Broly is, I don't think he's necessarily like angry at Goku, at Kakarot. He's because his other name is Kakarot. I don't think he's necessarily like angry at Goku. Cause I think he's more afraid of Goku, really. Because when he first like hears his name, he's less of like, oh, I wanna fucking kill that guy. It's more of like he's like shaking and stuff, and it's like he the way he looks, it's kind of like he's like kind of terrified, really. And it's only when he becomes the legendary Super Saiyan where he's like, oh, I'm gonna fucking kill that guy and shit. And it's like, and like Broly throughout the movie, he's a fucking monster. He's like a bulldozer. Like he's like he's like clotheslining people, like blowing people up. Like Goku like shoots him like with the Kamehameha, like full blast in his face, and it does nothing. He is a tank, and it's awesome. This movie is just really fun. Really, it's a really good and it's a really good movie. I really like this one. Like this because this was the first movie that felt like, oh, this is a movie. You know, this is a Dragon Ball movie. You know, out of like, oh, there's a little new bad guy comes. You know, like good. I really like this movie. Honestly, I like this one. I really like this one. And for the ninth movie, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be completely honest. For the ninth movie, I have no idea I have no idea what happens. BoJack Unbound. This one, I have no clue what happens in this movie. I forgot literally everything. This was like it was like so boring, and I just could not give a shit about this one. About BoJack Unbound. I don't know who these guys are. I keep looking at. I have the poster like up right now, and like I completely forgot what's in this movie. This is after the Cell Saga, so like Goku's dead, right? But I think he like shows up for like a bit at the end, and it's like that's like the most I can remember. I'm not rewatching this rewatching this one. This is like the most forgettable movie out of all of them. One of the most forgettable movies. Ugh. Oh God. So you know how I was like praising the Broly movie just like a second ago, right? Then we got the 10th movie, right? And it's another Broly movie. Like Broly was that popular, I guess. So this one is Broly's Second Coming. This is the 10th movie in the series so far. And this movie just not it. It is so. The thing is about the first movie, right? Broly, he was a monster, but like the thing is he had a personality. He was interesting. He was fun to watch. But in here, he just says Kakarot. He's like Kakarot. That's his entire thing. and like, Goten, that's Goku's second son. Oh, he looks exactly like Goku, and it's and all that. Again, this one doesn't have that much to it either, I mean, I don't hate the movie. I don't hate this movie. I don't hate it. Like before Broly shows up, I was kind of liking it. It was kind of fun, you know. And when Gohan shows up, the movie starts to pick up more, you know. And like, there's that at the end where they finally beat Broly with like Gohan, Goten, and like the ghost of Goku with like a triple Kamehameha, like blasting him into space as he blows up. That shit was rad, you know. That shit was awesome. But like, this was such a downgrade to the original. Cause like I give that movie like an 8. It was really good. But this one I give like a 6. This one was like not that at all. And it gets worse. It gets worse. It really does. It gets worse because the next movie is the third Broly movie, and it's Bio Broly. If you know what Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z is, if you know these movies, I think you probably know that this one is seen as like the worst one of them all. You know, one of the worst Dragon Ball movies, and like, I mean, yeah, it is. It's like it's bad. It's like really bad. Bio Broly is like the most uninteresting, boring, lazy villain I've ever seen in any of these movies. But like, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's bad. It's not good. There's like almost nothing that's good about the movie. To be honest, the only good parts are like Android 18 and Mr. Satan bickering. That was kind of funny. But besides that, like nothing about this movie was like interesting at all. It was I wanted it to this one like I wanted it to end like immediately. After 20 minutes, I just wanted to like turn off the movie because I was just so not it was so mind-numbing. This is like one of those movies you like give to it's on a DVD and you give it to your kid on a car ride and stuff. That's one of those movies, and it's like it's shit. It's so fucking ass. It's not the worst. Technically, it's not the worst Dragon Ball movie because Dragon Ball Evolution exists, but we're not talking about that one. So this one gets the crown for being the worst one. This is the worst of all these movies. It's really bad. You could honestly like check. I want to remind you I have a Twitter and like that's where like, if you can get reminded on later videos and stuff. I have been keeping track of everything I've watched and played and stuff, and like you can definitely see like by the end of the year I've been Dragon Ball pilled, I guess you could say. So like if you want to see like what I'd score these movies, I guess you can head to my Twitter. Whatever. The last two movies, right? The last two movies were such a blessing, because like God, after this dog shit, I was like, oh man, two like good movies after this one. So the 12th movie, the 12th Dragon Ball movie, is Fusion Reborn, and this one takes place during the Buu saga, even though it does not make sense like at all how, but it's like Hell gets like some weird happens in Hell and stuff, and there's this new villain called there's this new villain called Jamamba, and he has a cool design, but I don't know, he's kind of boring to me. Like from what I've seen, a lot of people like him, but like I don't know, he just looks kind of boring to me. I mean, his design's cool and his powers are cool, but like he's kind of like Buu, like Kid Buu, like during the end of the Buu saga, like just not as he's kind of like that really. But like the main point of this movie is the Fusion Reborn, and this is the first time, because like this is before I finished the Buu saga. I've watched it before I finished the Buu saga, right? So like this is the first time I saw, like we saw Gotenks, which was like Trunks and Goten, but here we have Gogeta, and this is his first appearance in the entire series, because like he would later show up in like in GT and the Super Broly movie, but this was his like absolute first appearance in like the entire series, and I mean he's cool. I like Gogeta. I like Vegeta more. Vegeto's the GOAT. I love you. He only has 2 appearances. Vegito has only 2 appearances in the entire series, and both times the plot beats him. He would have won both times, but the fucking plot like needed Goku and Vegeta to split up. But Gogeta, what annoys me so much is that Gogeta literally almost wins every fight he's in. Like, and that's so annoying. But it is really funny at the end of this movie because as soon as they fuse, they win. They shoot this like pink purple ball at Jumamba, and like he instantly dies, and like that's the end of the movie. I'm not saying this movie's bad. It's really, I really liked it. It's like my third favorite of all these movies. But I don't know, it felt a bit shallow, I guess, at the end. But then we get to the final movie, and in my opinion, the best movie of all of them, which is Wrath of the Dragon. And Wrath of the Dragon is my favorite of all these movies, because it's like the Broly movie, where there's like an actual interesting full story, instead of just a bad guy shows up. We got this new character called Typhon, right? And he has this like little flute he plays, and it kind of reminds me of, like, I never played Zelda, but like it reminds me of Link with like the ocarina and stuff. And like he's really cool, except he doesn't really like fight in like the movie like at all. It'd be cool because he has a cool design, and I like his relationship with Trunks and stuff. That's the weird thing about this movie. Like, Goku's not really like a main character at all. He's alive, but like he doesn't really play like a major factor. Trunks is mainly the main character for most of this movie, and it's really his relationship with Typhon, really. And I like it. It's really cute, and I like it. And again, just like Turles, Typhon is like one of the few characters of these movies that I want to be brought into like Super at some point, because like, I don't know, learning about his backstory and like how he's connected to the villain and stuff is like, it was interesting. I liked it. I really liked it, you know? My major like complaint about this movie was that for one, he didn't really fight like at all in the movie. And two, Goku just comes in and beats the final villain with like a dragon punch and shit, and that's how the movie ends and stuff. So like, that's kind of lame, because like this movie was like not about Goku like at all, but he showed up to like beat the final boss like instantly. So that was kind of lame. But like still, this is definitely my favorite of all the Dragon Ball movies, Dragon Ball Z movies, and that's it really. That's really all I wanted to ramble about today. But I did want to let you know I'm sorry I haven't uploaded like really any like real videos this year. Like a lot's happened this year for me, like a lot of stuff in my personal life that's just like not allowed me to like work on these videos as much, you know. And also the fact that I'm working on bigger and bigger videos too that are gonna take much longer to finish. Like I wanted to get that Evil Dead 2 video done by this month, but I don't think that's happening. And I gotta stop. It's just that a lot of stuff happened with me that I wasn't able to control, and like I wasn't able to like really keep up with my stuff and all that. I just hope you enjoyed me like talking like fucking nonsense for like 30 minutes for like a almost half an hour, just talking nonsense about like some shitty movies that like people don't care about anymore. You know, one day I do want to talk about Dragon Ball in full in like some videos and stuff, because like I've really enjoyed my time with this series like overall, you know. And follow me on Twitter, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Gohan, you stupid bitch. I've come back to life again, and I'm even more perfect now. Because that's just how my powers work. And I've been beating up your father for the last 18 minutes to show how much stronger I am now. That's right. And I baked fresh cookies with Videl. And then killed your wife. And your daughter. Gohan, you imbecile.
Gohan, I need you to stop being such a useless cuck. Also, I'm a bad father. A much worse father than Piccolo.
You're right, Dad. It is time for me to stop being a useless cuckold.
Team Gohan. Oh no, that's when Gohan was his coolest and strongest form.